I'm 100% in agreement, and so is my wife, who's a food service worker in the schools, so I appreciate it. I'm very concerned about some of what's we're seeing as a significant increase in school district reserves while they're also raising property taxes. Can you talk about the total amount of school district reserves across the Commonwealth, what you're seeing?
Yeah, I'm actually not seeing a marked increase in the reserve balances. Now, we see things as a lagging indicator at the department, right? When they're required to submit their information to us and how current that is maybe slightly less than desirable. I understand why it's the way it is, but I haven't seen a major uptick in that particular area. And certainly as ESSER funds and ARP ESSER funds have now gone away entirely, we're starting to see anything that had been built up in the past is either exhausted or has dwindled. There's also the lack of ability for school districts to raise taxes above the Act 1 limit if their reserve amounts are above a certain percent. So there are some safeguards that are already built in to protect taxpayers.
Well, one of the things that, just going through some of the numbers, back in 1920, there was about 4.8 billion, and it went up by 5.5. Then it went up another 9% the following year, 12.6% 21-22 to 5.9, 14% in 22-23 to 6.8, and it's up to 23-24. The last year that we've seen is about 7.3 billion. It's about a 60% increase overall in those 5 years, and I'm just don't get me wrong. I love our rainy day fund, and I understand the reason for having a reserve fund. And given the way we've been with the budget, sometimes it's been something that they've had to tap into, and I think it's important that they have it. But what doing it at the same time when they're doing tax increases is something that, for me, is a bit of an alarm signal, is what I'll say.
Yeah, what you're saying makes sense, that it would raise alarms for community members, and it goes back to that kind of like very opening when we're talking about communication. It would be incumbent upon the school district to say, we have this amount of, and let me actually finish the thought. School districts are required to share all of the information, and so the community would be aware of what the balances are. Being aware of those balances and seeing a tax increase, the school district would need to be able to explain why that is occurring. And there could be some valid reasons for it, but certainly caution is warranted because there's only a certain amount of money that people have, and so they want to make sure that it is being used wisely. So I hear what you're saying, and despite the fact that roofs and HVAC and personnel costs and benefits and all of that exist, we still have to make sure that we're using things efficiently. So I'm with you on that. And I think as the ARP ESSER funds and ESSER funds are removed from school districts' budgets, you're going to start to see those numbers go down as well.
Well, yeah, and as a reminder, we're also contributing to this, so it's significant to me. I want to go back to something that we discussed in a previous hearing, the certification of instructors for the CTE, and getting perhaps the IUs to do the certification of the instructors. Have we had any movement on that? Are we looking to try and give the IUs the ability to do the certification of these instructors? People who are coming out of the job market.
I believe we actually did, we were successful in that regard, and in some other areas where through regulation the school code has been relaxed to allow people to enter CTE with more flexibility. For example, we're now able to take into account some of the life experience that
That's what we were discussing earlier. So yes, I appreciate that.
fantastic that that's now occurring. And
I'll tell you what, if you could get us a list of that, or at least to
Sure.
me, I'd appreciate it, because I've got 7 counties that I cover, and I would love to get that out so that my IUs and my school districts can start taking advantage of them.
okay, we'll do
Thank
that.
you.